Greetings, everyone. I am not back at another theme park, baby. I'm actually currently in my apartment that you guys have seen a lot lately with all the little shorts that I've been making, because I typically film them here. But I wanted to go over a couple of things real quick. Just kind of give you just a little bit of a life update, an update on Shawn, an update on everything else that's been going on in my life. So there's been a lot of really different changes that I've kind of been slowly making in the past couple of months, and you know, there's reasons behind it. Now, if you guys did not follow like my Instagram, because it was the only way, or the only place I've actually posted it was, I want to say like probably like late March, April-ish. Sheik and I decided to split. We decided to split. It was definitely on amicable terms, and we are very close and we're very good friends now. We literally talk every single day, which honestly a lot of people don't get to have that that close relationship with someone that they grew very close with. But as you guys will know, she is still very encouraging, still very, very important piece in my life. However, she is back in Northern California. I'm still here in Florida. And even though it's been tough, it has been very tough. And I really haven't addressed that in any sort of video. It's kind of like what you guys see is, you know, business as usual. Life goes on, which is typical for the most part. But I'm glad that I am able to continue and grow forward. And from this point, from the point that Sheik and I separated, was a great learning experience of trying to figure out like, where do I go from here, as far as like, what do I want to do, where do I see myself, and goals. And the great thing I feel about in moments like this, where now it's an introspective, it's a part of you, and it's something that you have to like take control of, then it allows you to rediscover who you are. And that is kind of what I've been slowly doing over the past couple of months. So it's just a rediscovery of who I am, what am I trying to do, and what ultimately is my goals in all of this. What you guys have saw like probably a lot lately, I put out that little mini movie, and then I put out I think Whistle was the next one. I did a blue milk sort of thing that I can just film at home. And there's been just a lot of different elements that I literally took from other creators that I watch that's outside of that Disney style that everybody's used to. And I've definitely tried to like incorporate that within me. And I enjoy it. I really do. Sometimes the ideas aren't always there, and sometimes it needs a little bit more manpower than I require. And sometimes it's hard to have that type of manpower, but at the same time, it's good to try to come back and rediscover like why I like doing YouTube and why I like doing the videos. Because to me, I feel like it's a great way of connecting, and I get to connect with you guys. I'm looking through the lens right now, and as you guys are watching this, you're looking through a different lens, your TV screen's lens. And I find that way more enjoyable than anything else. I think the more I realize that I have a hard time going to the parks because I'm literally at work all the time. I go to my day job at like, I don't know, 7 in the morning. I don't get home until like maybe like 5:30. So if I got to get to the park and I'm probably about an hour away, it can be a long drive just to get maybe an hour of time in the park. So my park times is very limited. So sometimes I'm there over the weekends, sometimes I'm there and I'm not vlogging at all. Recently I rode Hagrid, which is a fantastic ride, and I didn't even bring my camera. I didn't want to. I wanted to experience the ride completely. And I did that twice in the same day. But here's really the big thing, is I get to sit back and I get to rediscover who Shawn really is. And that's the cool part. That's the part that I think so many people forget, is when you have these moments of struggle, when you have these moments of doubt, when you have these moments where you feel like you're drowning, these are the moments that you can actually use as a fuel and a fire to bring together and find a way to allow yourself to shine. For, you know, like, so right now I am looking to, how do I continue to make like these very creative videos, these very creative vlogs, and they're different. There's no way to explain it. I think it takes a very long time for somebody to really understand, you know, who they are and in their niche. I hate that word, but I get it. And I think I get it now because some people understand their niche a lot earlier than others. I think I may have taken a lot longer to understand mine and to figure out where I fit in the whole grand scheme of things. I love going to Disney. I love doing Disney vlogs, but to put myself with the everyone else, I'm slightly different. I'm slightly different because I definitely have a humor style that may not make sense to the masses. You know, I would say I probably cater to a very small audience, kind of like, I don't know, people might find PewDiePie funny. I find him hysterical, but there's a small audience for who enjoys PewDiePie. I'm not saying that I'm comparing myself to PewDiePie. I'm just saying that's kind of how it works. I'm not, you know, the way I go about things is slightly different than the whole. I can't do informative vlogs because I don't know what you should do on your trip. Honestly, if you come to Disney World and it's your trip and you want to have the best time, have the best time. I'm not going to tell you where to go because the best part is you discovering it yourself. The other thing too is, you know, I'm not very well versed on construction updates because I don't honestly really care. It's going to get built and it's going to open and people are going to go there and people are going to have a great time. I provide something different, and I think that's the thing that, you know, had been knocking in my brain for such a long time. I remember back in February, no, it was January because I did it on my 2-year anniversary, but I filmed the video just really thinking about like my frustrations and everything about like YouTube as a platform. I don't think it's so much of having that frustration as it was just trying to figure out where Shawn fits in the whole grand scheme of things. And luckily for the past couple of weeks, I've managed to slowly figure out who I am and what I do better. If you guys had noticed, and I know I talked about it on a live stream, I changed the channel name to Shawn Roselle's Negro Orlando, which to me, it better suits me. This is my Orlando. This is my take on Orlando. Not so much of like a traveling aspect, but it could be all sorts of things. It really makes me feel like it's ownership over something that I needed, and it really kind of encouraged change, which encouraged the videos that came out. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, as far as, you know, the videos, as far as like mentally, that slowly but surely I think I'm doing an amazing job, and I'm a fighter, and just fighting to keep above water and just to live, because I assure you I work a lot. I'm not, you know, I certainly don't want to pressure the audience to say, oh man, pay my rent. I don't want to pressure anybody to help me stay above float. Although that's nice. I appreciate the patrons. That's why you have the Patron Rap, But I also appreciate these moments, so that way one day, if I get to a point high enough to where, you know, YouTube becomes that career and it becomes that full-time gig, that I can look at this video that I'm making right now as a reminder that there was times where you were probably at your lowest and you managed to succeed and managed to break through with whatever glass ceiling that you thought you had, which probably doesn't exist and is probably in my head. But the big part in all of it is definitely, if you guys are enjoying the content, keep enjoying the content. But at the same time, and this kind of goes out to all of you that may feel that you're in the same spot. I'm not saying that everybody is, but if you are in a spot where you feel that, man, there was a lot of stress going on in my life, and there's a lot of issues that is going on in my life, and there's a lot of, you know, confusion on where I'm going next, the best advice is, you know, you take that pain and you take whatever that stress is, and you can put it into yourself and then use that as a way of just like self-identifying and then self-learning and then growing. And that's the most important key to it all, is just identifying who you are. And then sometimes, like especially when it's a breakup or things like that, it's always good to understand the lessons that you learned with that partner and try to apply that to yourself. And what did you learn from that person? You know, the best thing that I learned about Sheikah was, you know, when we met, I had very little goals. I had none. Like, I think probably within like 2 weeks of dating, she was like, "Hey, what's your goals?" And I was like, "Man, I just want to work. I have 0 goals. I don't know where I'm going." But since we had dated, I learned the value of goals. I learned the value of fighting hard and the value of overcoming obstacles. And I learned that, and I still do it to this day. So you're always in a spot of self-discovery and self-learning and self-teaching and self-motivating. So don't give up. Like, if you're watching this and you're like, "Man, Shawn, I've been there. I know exactly how you feel." Don't give up, and keep fighting and keep doing what it is that you do to succeed. When you learn who you are, when you learn like what you can do, and then you finally meet who you are, and you finally come together and you say, "This is the guy that I have been this entire time." It is so wonderful to meet that human being. It is beautiful. And right now, I think I'm in the middle of meeting this person, this guy that I lost. Get to finally meet Shawn Roselle, you know, for the first time. And that is a beautiful thing. Honestly, I don't know who needed to hear this message. I really don't know if this message is intended for the masses, if it's intended for a little body, or anyone. Now, if you guys watch this all the way through, I really hope that you guys take what I'm saying and then apply it somehow. I mean, if you guys are struggling somewhere, if you guys are suffering somewhere, and you're looking to see who you are, like, never forget that person that that you are. Search back in here, find who you are, and then become that person. And that's what I've been trying to do. So, I mean, there'll still be Disney vlogs, of course, in my own little silly way, and there'll probably be more really heavily edited stuff and skits inside the vlogs, because I like to make sure that I'm different. But I really like to do the movies. I really like to make the little films. Like, that makes me feel good, but it takes such a long time. it takes such a long time to go from idea into shooting and then sometimes release. So if you guys have noticed, there's kind of been a bit schedule of like Mondays and then Wednesdays. No, yep, Mondays and Wednesdays of when the videos get dropped. So I'm going to stick to that schedule as best as I can. But if you are coming and watching this channel for trip updates and construction updates, I apologize. I'm not that channel anymore. So, but I might also do something like that sometimes. I might go to Galaxy's Edge and film it. I might go to Toy Story Land and film it, but there's going to be difference in there. Because growth is necessary. And I think it's healthy to have a continuously evolving channel. At least that is to me anyway. But that's it. I'm going to get back to work. So, thank you so much for watching and listening to me ramble for however long this video is. Smash that subscribe button if it's your first time on this channel. Hopefully you took a message away from this ramblings of a madman. But I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody who watches. I appreciate everybody who's been watching since I was at 1 subscriber. You guys really make this all worth it, especially if the whole goal is nothing more than that connection right there. So, bash me, bash me, bash me. I'm out.
Make the ground shake.